Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about my cross stitch, so welcome. Today is May 25th, 2025 and this is Flosstube episode number 36. I'm so glad to be back with you guys today. I'm feeling a little refreshed and excited because I just finished up my last day of the school year on Friday. I have been teaching 4th grade at my school for 10 years, and this is my 13th year total of teaching, so another year in the books. So I'm excited to have some me time this summer and get to focus on my stitching. So yeah, that's the big thing that's going on around here. My husband's a teacher also, and so he just had his last day on Friday as well, so we're ready to kick off our summer. We're not going to be doing anything too exciting. We usually go on vacation, but he has to get surgery next week, I think. So he'll be okay. It's not anything too crazy, I don't think. He has to have surgery on his neck. I mean, I guess it is a serious surgery. He will have to be in a neck brace for most of the summer. He has been a lifelong wrestler and wrestling coach, so he's done some damage to himself over the years, and it's finally come to a point where it's causing him a lot of pain, and he needs to get it fixed before it deteriorates any further. So, so yeah, we're gonna be homebound a lot this summer. I'll be taking care of him a lot, so hopefully, in between all of my nursing duties, I'll get to have plenty of time for my stitching. So I'm not too upset about not going on vacation. I am kind of a homebody, so it's fine. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So I am going to be going to 2 retreats this summer. I'm going to StitchCon A, and I'll be going to a retreat hosted by Craft Gallery at the end of June. It's called Stitchtopia. The last I heard, there were some spots available. So if you're looking for a retreat to go to in June, give Craft Gallery a call and see about the details of that retreat and see if that's something you'd be interested in. It is hosted, like I said, by Craft Gallery, which is located in Findlay, Ohio. So anyway, so hopefully those 2 weekends I'll be able to get away. We do have 2 of our adult children who live here at home. My son is still in college. He has 1 more year of college to go. He just finished up his junior year at Miami. And so he lives at home and he commutes to school and to work. And then my younger daughter, she graduated from the Pratt Institute last May. And so she moved back home from New York so she could save some money up and, you know, just get back on her feet. And so, yeah. So hopefully they can take care of Dad while I'm gone at my retreats. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully, you know, send your well wishes for him. Hopefully his recovery goes well and hopefully he is not in a lot of pain after surgery. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. Anyway, let's get to the stitching. I have some giveaway winners to announce today, and I have 2 FFOs to share with you, a new start, and several WIPs, several works in progress. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to start with the giveaway winners. Usually I wait till the end of the video, but sometimes I don't always hear back from the winners, and I think maybe people just don't stick around to the end of the video sometimes to hear their names. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. So if you are a giveaway winner, please send me a message either on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Stitchy Sarah Reads, and or you can contact me via email, stitchysarahreads@gmail.com. My contact info is down below. Just let me know what you won and give me your mailing address, please. So let's start with this first one. This was a giveaway of Valentine's Day quilt by Primrose Cottage. It comes with the called for DMC. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic here. Yeah, there you go. You can see the chart there. This was donated by my friend Jody. who is Simply Stitching Ocala on Flosstube, Instagram, and Etsy. She donated this as a thank you for supporting her shop. She just celebrated 1 year on Etsy, so definitely go check out her shop. I will link it below. She carries all kinds of patterns and floss. She recently started carrying XU Design fabric, which is one of my favorite fabric dyers, and she's got a lot of fabric bundles and finishing bundles, so definitely go check out her shop. So this giveaway winner is Arlene Dolan 2913. Arlene Dolan 2913. So Arlene, congratulations. Contact me and I will get this out to you. And then I had two patterns donated to me for a giveaway, by Hannah from Ladybug Stitches. And she is a newer designer. She does have her charts available in paper copy and also PDF. You can get PDFs from her website. The first one that I have to give away here is the June Strawberries All Piled Up series. So she has a monthly series, and this is the June. So you just had to use the word June in your comment. And so the winner of this adorable pattern is Bethany.Birdstitcher. So congratulations, Bethany. I hope you enjoy stitching this. So just contact me and give me your address. And then I had this one to give away. So this one comes with 3 charts. The strawberry minis, and everybody's stitching the strawberries now, so very timely. And you had to use the word jam in your comment. And this is going to Carol Omer 4171. I hope I said your name right. Carol Omer, CarolOmer 4171. So that is yours. Congratulations, everybody. I hope you enjoy your winnings, and I can't wait to get those out to you so you can stitch those. Okay. All right, let's get to my finishes. I have 2 fully finishes to show you today, and I think they were both, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were both starts and finishes and fully finishes since I saw you last. But they're part of a collection, so I'm just going to show them to you all 3 together. So these are the English sampler berries. You've seen this one before. I showed that one to you before, but these 2 over here are the newer ones that I recently stitched. These come from the Erica Michaels English sampler berries chart. All 3 are included. So my friends and I decided that we wanted to host a stitch along this month because we wanted to stitch an Erica Michaels berry. Several of us had met Linda of Erica Michaels back in January at the Stitch Away retreat that was hosted by Keepsakes. She was the designer. And we were like, none of us have stitched a berry before. We need to do that. So we decided to stitch a berry in May. And so we called it the hashtag Mayberry Sal. Sal stands for Stitch Along. And we just decided to stitch a berry, any berry. It didn't have to be an Erica Michaels berry, but I think we all chose an Erica Michaels berry in support of her and meeting her. And we kind of put it out there to all of you, and so many of you have joined in and stitched a berry with us, and it's been really, really fun. May's not over, so if you haven't stitched a berry yet, you still can. Just make sure you use our hashtag so we can see it and tag us. I will put all of our social media information down below. It was a whole group of us that hosted the Stitch Along. It was myself, my friend Sarah of Handmade by Sarah W. She's on Flosstube and Instagram. My friend Allison, AllieCat13. My friend Karen, Benton Station Crafter. My friend Lori, The Grateful Needle. Emily, Short and Stitchy. And Michelle of Michelle Lee Quilts. We all hosted the Stitch Along together. We've all enjoyed stitching different berries. Sarah and I did the same ones. And it's been really, really fun. So definitely. If you're going to stitch a berry, or if you have stitched a berry, please tag us. But anyway, back to my berries. So like I said, I showed you this one before. This was the Tudor Roseberry. I showed that finish in my last video. After the Tudor Roseberry, I stitched this one. It's called the Honeysuckle Berry. Let me turn it around so you could see it. So I stitched all 3 of mine on 40 count Winter Brew by R&R. And I think they just turned out so tiny and cute. Here's my hand for comparison. It's just turned out so tiny. I just made a little topper out of some wool felt I had in my stash and a button. And I stuffed the bottom with walnut shells, and I stuffed the top with the Pellon Perfect Loft that I showed in my last video. It's kind of like polyfill, but it's softer, and I feel like it's less clumpy. But there's that. And I stitched it using all of the called for floss, which I think was All Weeks Dye Works. Yes, All Weeks Dye Works with a couple of DMC that are called for. So there's that one. And then the next one was called Woodland Berry. It's got this cute squirrel, a dog maybe. And there it is. I'll give this one a little turn too so you can see it. There's my seam. They're very easy to make. I had never made a berry before these, and I thought they were super easy to make. Erica Michaels has she has a blog post with written directions and also pictures to go along with the written directions. And I was able to follow hers very easily. My friend Sarah followed a video tutorial from Helen D. And so, you know, both of those are great resources. I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube of how to make berries. But I just thought these were so easy. Here's my topper. I just gave a little, I just tacked it down. Just tacked each leaf down and did a little button there. And so, yeah, here's my trio. I thought they just turned out so perfect. I love them so much. And I have them displayed. I've been keeping them in my craft room, but I think I want to put them downstairs somewhere, maybe in the living room. But they just turned out so cute. I feel like I need maybe a smaller bowl where they're not going to roll around like this. But for now, they're in here. And I think they just turned out so cute, and I love them. So my first berries are in the books. They turned out so cute. Speaking of berries, I didn't make these, but I have to show them. I went to my mom's to visit her for Mother's Day, and I showed in my last video, was it the last video? Yeah, I think so, what I made her for Mother's Day, and she loved it. But while I was there, she gave me something. She made these adorable little strawberries with like fabric and ribbon. Aren't they so cute? They're just a little like bowl fillers. So she's not selling them or anything. She's just making them for fun and giving them to family members. So thanks, Mom. Matches my nails. Speaking of berries, right? Okay, so let's get into what I've been stitching. I had a new start on Mother's Day. I hadn't planned a new start at all, so it was very impromptu. What happened was I was on Instagram, and you know what happens. You see other people stitching, and you're like, I want to stitch that. So I was on Instagram. Oh, I don't remember the account I saw it on, but I saw a person stitching this pattern, and I was like, that is gorgeous. So here it is. It's on my iPad because it's only available, as far as I know, as a PDF. I'm trying not to get a glare there. It is called Alice Meets the Caterpillar by Gera. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's she's a Japanese designer. And you can get her patterns online through creativepoppy.com. I just thought this was so pretty, so colorful. I have a couple of Alice in Wonderland charts that I've started. I just love Alice in Wonderland, and I just could not get over the colors in this. So I was like, I'm gonna stitch that. So I literally bought it on Mother's Day as a PDF, and I kitted up from Stash. It's all DMC colors. There's so many. They're so bright. I love this little cabochon here. I got that from Bobby over at Pumpkin Creek Primitives at StitchCon a year or two ago. So that's perfect. But here's my stitching. Oh, that fabric is not coming across very good. It looks very brown over here. But here's my start. I started the flowers over on the left side, and then Alice is going to be right here, and then the big mushroom with the caterpillar on it is going right there. So that's what I started with. I love the colors. They're so vibrant. This fabric is called something. Oh, here it is. This fabric is called Fallen Jazz by Fiberlicious. It's a 46 count. It was a fabric that I got when I was part of their Fabric of the Month Club. And I thought it would be perfect for this. And so far, I think it is. I think these colors are really gonna pop on there. There's some pinks in here. Oh, there's a pink right there. This one right here. Oof. That's gonna look so good. Anyway, I think these colors are gonna really look good on here. And yeah, it was my unplanned Mother's Day start, and I love it so far. I love the bright colors. Lately, I have just been wanting to stitch with bright colors. So I have been. I'm keeping this in a bag from Painted Leaf Co., which is my mom's shop. I think this is Tula Pink fabric, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the, got the teacups on it. I love the inside fabric too. It's gorgeous. So that's where I'm keeping that. I always do link my mom's shop down below, so make sure you go check her out and follow her on Instagram. I love the charm on the bag too. It's a little teacup. So there's my new start. The rest of these are all whips. Whips stands for work in progress. The first one here that I'm going to show you, let me get myself situated here, is called Spring Sampler Fragment by Shakespeare's Peddler. This came out at Market. I like how it's like cut off. You can see it, it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, and then we start down here with N-O-P. So it's called Spring Sampler Fragment because she made it to look like it was like a fragment of a sampler, like it just got like cut off. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get down to that house. I haven't started any of that yet, but here we are. There's my progress. Since I saw you last, I did finish out the letters on the top row here. So it literally like cuts off right here. Like there's the beginning of the next letter, but that's where it ends. So, so yeah, I'll probably continue working on this border, bring that border across, finish up these letters. I want to bring the bottom border across before I do all the fun stuff down here, because you've got that house, you got the bird and the flowers, and it's just also pretty down there. So I wanted to save all that stuff for last. But there's my progress. I am stitching this on the called for, which is 40 count dark soil by XJU Design. And I am using all of the called for. There's Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works, and I think there's a couple of Gentle Arts. So I'm just stitching it as called for. So there's that one. On the same piece of fabric, on the other side, is my next whip. Let me put this up here. Here's my next whip. This is Hope by Shakespeare's Peddler. This one also came out at market. And it's also called for on the dark soils. So I'm just stitching them both on the same fabric. And you can see very different color palette. In fact, let me show you these colors. I love this color palette so much. There we go. Oh, look at that bright red in there. You got these blues. So good. That yellow. It calls for Classic Color Works. Same thing, Classic Color Works, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. And that's where I've gotten to. So I did go ahead and finish up the border all the way around. And I put in the blue flowers over here. I started on this little flower motif over there, and I did the barn. These over here are little tomatoes that grow along that vine. Oh, so good. I just love the colors in this one, so I cannot wait to continue working on this. It is harder to see because it's on the dark fabric, so I have to work on it like when I have good natural light. I don't like to bring my light downstairs, like my stitching light, because my dogs sit in my lap while I stitch, and I'm always afraid I'm going to blind them with my light. So so I don't use my light when I stitch. So I have to just wait until I have good like daylight to work on that. So I will probably have more time to work on that this summer since I'll be home. Does anyone else do that, or is it just me? I just don't want to shine the light in their eyes and blind them. This is a bag. I keep these projects in this bag. This is from Pepper Pot Shop, which is my sister's shop. So my mom and sister both have shops on Etsy. I do always link their shops below. And I thought this one was perfect for this stitch because I believe there are bees in both charts, I think. Well, maybe not the spring one, but there's a bee skep in this one. So anyway, I do like to try to make my project bags like match a little bit to what I'm stitching because it's fun. All right, next, I was surprised at how many whips I had this time around. I have just been like a stitching fool. Like my days at school have been a little stressful. So like when I come home, all I want to do is stitch. I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit on my couch with my dogs and stitch. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been very relaxing. So the next one I have to show you is the Mary Bovee sampler by Stacy Nash. I have had this chart in my stash for a couple of years or so. And so when I heard that Mrs. Jones Stitches and Nicole Spohr were hosting a stitch along, I was like, cool, let me pull it out and stitch it. So I did. Here's mine so far. So since I saw you last, I had frogged the letters. If you remember, the floss that I was using for the letters was very ghosty. You couldn't see the letters, and so I frogged them. Let me pull out my colors here. I think I'm using mostly the called for, but I did pull this. Hold on a second. Let me get myself situated. So the rest of these I believe are the called for. If I didn't have the over dyed version, I just pulled a DMC equivalent. But I had added this color into my palette. I thought it went really well. This is doesn't have a name. It's a limited edition color from Gentle Art. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the design, but that's what I had used to stitch the alphabet, and the alphabet was not showing up. So I did frog it and just stitch it as charted. And it's showing up a lot better. So I'll have to find somewhere else in the design to use this color because I think it really goes well with the rest of the colors. I did also change the leafy vine here to a green color. It was originally like a brown color, and so I was like, no, I want green. So I am using, what is this? It's Weeks Dye Works Bullfrog. I'm not sold on it yet, but that's why I didn't stitch very much of it. I'm gonna wait and get some more stuff in. I'm feeling like it's kind of bold, but we'll see once I get some of these other colors, because there's other like bolder colors. So we'll see. Anyway, I am stitching this on, what's my linen? I'm pretty sure it's 40 count old linen by XG Design. So there we are. I've been enjoying seeing other people's versions of this stitch. People are using all kinds of different fabrics. Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, she just restarted hers. I don't remember what fabric she's using, but hers looks great. So definitely go take a look at Nicole's and Holly's, since they are the ones hosting the stitch along. And I'm keeping this in a bag that I got from Bella Rose Needleworks. Very pretty. All right. Still have a few more things to show you. I've been busy. All right. This next one was a market release from Stacy Nash. It's called Rose Hill Farm Sampler. Oh, let me pull up the pattern really quick. It's on my iPad. Rose Hill Farm Sampler. I am stitching mine on 40 count Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim Fabrics. I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me show you the pattern. Here it is. There we go. Rose Hill Farm Sampler and Pin Keep. I'm sure you've seen this chart before. A lot of people are stitching this. It's gorgeous. That big red barn. Oh, love it. So here is mine. Oh, this fabric is perfect for it. I believe I'm using all the called for floss, and they're all Weeks Dye Works. So sorry, they're not very pretty. They're a little messy, but you get the idea. So I haven't done, well, no, I was going to say I haven't done a whole lot, but I have. So I'm going to give myself credit where credit is due. I finished out the border. I brought it all the way around. It is a double line border, which I've done in some places. You can see how this line here is thicker than like this line. The inner border is, I want to say Cocoa by Weeks Dye Works. And then the outer border, I believe is Oscar by Weeks Dye Works. And so I went all the way around with the Cocoa, and I'm still going back around and filling in with the Oscar. So I don't think you can tell too much the difference. Well, you might be able to. I also came over here and added in the leaves. There's like a berry bowl here. I think there's a berry bowl on the other side over here. So I did, since I had Oscar on my needle, I was coming over here and working on this too. So yeah, it's always a good feeling when your border matches up. So I'm happy to have that. This is like a lot small. It's a lot smaller than I expected it to be. I expected it to be huge, but it's really not. You know, it's still a lot of stitching. That barn was very dense. I still have to add the chimneys, so the barn isn't completely done yet, but still a lot to go. There's an alphabet up here. There's flowers all along the border. There's berry bowls down here. I think there's maybe a dog down here. So I still have a lot to go. It's not done or close to being done yet, but I'm really enjoying this. I love it. Stitching that with my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., and my friend Michelle of Michelle E. Quilts. All right, speaking of Michelle, I'm keeping that in a bag that I got from her. her bags, her patchwork bags are so good. I love a beautiful project bag. I'm very fortunate to have a mom and a sister and a friend who make beautiful bags. Okay. Next, I have, if you've been here recently, you've seen this recently. This was a restart for me. I started this chart, Tread Softly by Lindy Stitches. I started it back in 2021. It was a Mother's Day gift from my kids to me. And I started it and then I haven't touched it since. I do have my original start. I know I've shown this to you before, but it's here, so I'll show it to you again. I meant to give this to my friend Alice, and the last time I saw her and I forgot. She's going to adopt my whip. But here's my original start. It's stitched using the called for colors on the called for fabric, which was a 32 count Witchelt Mediterranean Sea, something like that. And this is a Lugana. Since 2021, my stitching preferences have changed. I no longer like to stitch on 32 count. I don't stitch on Lugana, and I don't stitch with 2 strands of floss. And so that's why I wasn't going back to this one. I loved it and I wanted to stitch it, especially because it was a gift from my kids. But I just didn't want to stitch on that fabric with 2 strands. So I finally decided to restart it. And here's my restart. As you can see, I went a totally different direction with the fabric. This fabric is called A Little Sassy by Be Stitch Me. It was a fabric of the month that I got from them. I believe it's a 40 count. And so I'm stitching 1 over 2. And I'm using mostly the called for colors, but I am switching a couple of things up. One thing I switched up was the colors of the stars. This blue is not part of the color palette. I added this blue in from my stash. Some of the stars, here we go. You can see the stars were charted in like white, and these like brownish colors that are in the owl, they were not showing up. So I just decided to stitch it in the yellows and the blues. But everything else so far is the same. I think that owl turned out so good. I love it so much. Somebody had left the comment that it looks like my owl is like, you know, looking out at us from the shadows of the forest. And I agree. That was what I was going for. So now I'm looking forward to, now that the owl is all done, I'm really looking forward to adding in some of these beautiful flower colors. Let me show you the floss. Oh, so it calls for dinky dyes. I think my other colors are all DMC, and I did throw in this blue from Color and Cotton. There we go. That was what I did this star in. So yeah, oh, I'm ready to use this purple here. That's gonna be so good. And the pink. So I'm enjoying this much more the second time around. So I'm gonna keep working on it. And one day it'll be done, and I'm going to frame it and put it here in my craft room where I can look at it all the time. Love it. Oh, sometimes I get these fabrics. I think I said this the last time too. Like sometimes I get these fabrics and I think, what am I going to put on that? And then one day it just clicks. Okay. Oh, I feel myself getting tired. I don't know why. Hopefully you're not getting tired of watching me. Oh, hold on. Oh, my bag. I know I show it every time, but I have to show it because I made it. I made this bag back when I started this project because of the owl and the other beautiful animals. So I made that bag. I have only made like 3 bags in my lifetime. I probably won't make any more because I know people who make them way better than I do. So, all right, my next one is Anne Hughs, 1852 Woodfield House by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This was my friend Sarah's birthday start for her birthday last year. And of course, I wanted to stitch it with her because it's gorgeous. I think this came out at Market last year, if I'm not mistaken. But let me show you mine. I was working on this last night, and I finally got the house filled in. Oh, it looks so good. I finally finished filling in that house. Some people love fill-in. I'm not that people. I'm not one of those people. I don't know why. It took me 1,000 years to fill in this house. I'm stitching this on 40 count old stationery by Sarah Fim, which is the same fabric that Sarah is she stitched hers on. She's done. She finished it. It looks amazing. You definitely should go check hers out on her Instagram or on her Flosstube because she stitched her house blue because she loves a blue house and it looks amazing. I'm stitching mine as called for using all the called for floss. I have yet to use this cottage garden thread. It goes in the urns on either side of the house. So I think I'm going to save that for last because it looks so fun. But that's where we are. I want to copy Sarah too. So on the chart, it's kind of hard to see, but it says Woodfield House down below here. I don't want mine to say Woodfield House. So what Sarah had done is she put her initials here under the house, and then I believe the year she was born over here. And she left off everything else, like these little dogs in the corners. She left off. There's like a little, like, I can't even see what that is. I don't know if that's words or, I think it's words. I can't see it. I need my glasses on. And it blends into the fabric. There's something down here. So she left all of that off. And hers looks amazing. So there's mine. I'm going to keep working on it. So I finished filling in the house. I came up, I added these little strawberries up here. And I put this pink in over here. I think this is like the wings of a couple of birds. There's a couple of like lighter colored strawberries here. So I'm just going to come up here and work with all the doodads up here. There's some birds and flowers and all the things. So I'm going to keep working on it. I would like to get it done before her birthday in July. So we'll see. We'll see. I have been wanting to get some things like finished before I like start anything else. My whip count is getting perilously close to 70 again. I don't want to do that. So I need to finish some things. This is another bag from Michelle Lee Quilts. I chose it because of all the blue, because Sarah loves blue. So that's what I keep my Anne Hughs in. All right, next is another restart. This was one, oh shoot, I'll put that down there. This was one I had started at StitchCon in 2022, I want to say. It is called Meditation Garden by Jan Hicks Creates. The picture doesn't do it justice. The model there is what sold me. I had to get the pattern and start it immediately. And a bunch of friends started it. We started a stitch along, and a bunch of my friends have finished it. Here is my original. I think I've shown it to you. I know I've shown it to you before, but I'll show it to you again. So this was my start back in 2022. I didn't iron it. And so, like I said, I was stitching on 32 count back then, 2 strands over 2. And so that's why I've stalled out, because I just don't, that's not my preferred fabric count or number of strands to stitch with. And so I haven't touched this since 2022. And so I finally decided that was going to be a restart as well. So, and I'm loving my restart of this so much. Ugh. Hold on. Oh, the fabric is so good. Let me get it clipped to my board here so I can show it to you. I was working on this yesterday and I didn't want to stop. Oh, the fabric. The fabric looks so good. I feel like all my fabrics are showing off like way darker or more modeled than they are in real life. I had my ring light on earlier and I felt like it was just like too stark. So I don't know. I need to figure out my lighting situation. But here we are. You can see that my fabric has lots of different colors in it. Probably the primary color in it is green, but you got some blues in there, some peaches, some pinks. It's fantastic. I really like that so much more than this. This is great. I like this better. I love it so much. Let me bring it in. So pretty. I'm using all of the called for DMC colors. It is charted in silks, I think NPIs, but there are a lot of colors in here. So I kitted it up from DMC and I'm using 1 strand over 2. And while I'm here and while I'm talking about like my preference for 40 count over like a 32, I just wanted to say it's important as stitchers to just stitch on whatever you enjoy, whatever you can see, whatever you like. Some people like stitching with 2 strands. Other people like stitching with 1 strand. And the reason I bring this up is because I've had so many people, you know, people in the comments, people in my real life say things to me recently that that I wanted to address. So for instance, I have a friend that I work with who has stitched in the past, but she hasn't stitched in many years. And she talks about maybe getting back into it sometimes, but then sometimes when she sees my stitching, she says, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't see that. I just can't stitch. I'm like, you can stitch. You don't have to stitch on 40 count. She was like, well, I just stitch on Ada. I'm like, and Ada is wonderful. And I think too, like, it's maybe because she hasn't stitched in so many years, she thinks of Ada, she's thinking of she has to stitch on 14 count white Ada. And I'm like, there are so many beautiful Adas in the market, you know, hand dyed, different colors, with modeling, without modeling, that you can use. You don't have to stitch on 14 count white Ada. You can stitch on any count Ada in any color and it's going to look gorgeous. My friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., if you've ever watched her or if you've ever watched our videos together, she only stitches on Ada and everything she stitches is gorgeous. So, you know, just because I'm stitching on 40 count and I'm stitching with 1 strand doesn't mean that my stitching is any better or any more, I don't know, than anything else. And the only reason I say that, like I said, is because people have said things to me. They're like, oh, I can only stitch on 28 count Lugana. That's fantastic. You know, we don't all have to stitch on the same things, and it doesn't mean that one is better than another. It's not. This is just what I prefer. It's what makes me happy. I like the look of it, and that's what I'm going to stitch on. But this is just my preference. Everybody has their own preferences. Everybody has their, you know, whatever you like, whatever you're comfortable with is fantastic. And that's all I wanted to say. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, she doesn't like that because whatever. It's just my preference. And if I'm going to stitch on something, I wasn't stitching on this because I don't like it. I'm going to stitch on what I like, right? And I want all of you to do the same. And we may not enjoy the same things, and that is okay. And I hope everybody knows that. I hope everybody, you know, is happy with what they're stitching on and proud of what you're stitching. You know, my mom kind of says the same thing. She's tried stitching on linen and it's not for her, and that's okay. That's okay, because there is so much out on the market now as far as like fabrics and the different fabric types and the different fabric colors, that we have so much to choose from. We are so blessed as stitchers to be in the day and age that we're in right now. So stitch on what you love. Stitch on what you love, and that's perfect. And this is what I love, so. I hope that made sense. I felt like I wasn't very eloquent in what I was saying, but I hope you get what I'm saying. I just don't want anybody to think because I stitch on 40 like that you should stitch on 40. If you don't want to stitch on 40, don't stitch on 40. And I'm keeping this in my new bag. I had it in another bag, but I just got this bag from my sister yesterday from Pepper Pot Shop, and I thought it was perfect with these colors. Like, yeah. So, speaking of matching your bags to your projects, I'm keeping Meditation Garden in my new bag from Pepper Pot Shop, and I'm pretty sure she has some of these available in the shop, so go check it out. It's got this cute little flower charm. Very colorful, very summer. All right, I am down to my final whip. And it's my favorite one. I love all of them, but out of everything I'm showing you today, this is the one that lately I have been like loving. And I've been loving all of them. So that's saying a lot. Okay, my final whip of the day is, this was also another market release. This is called Kindness Makes Friends by Shakespeare's Peddler. Oh, so many people are stitching this right now too. I just watched Tara Sullivan, and she's stitching it. And it's gorgeous. Everybody loves it because it's so pretty. All right, let me put this on my board here. Oh, I love everything about this. I know I've said this about like everything I've shown you today. All right, so I'm stitching this actually on a new fabric too. This fabric came out at market. It's called Gray Spinel. It's 40 count. It's from Fiber on a Whim. Oh, I love it so much. It's so tall and skinny. I did do a full color conversion to Roxy Floss and Color and Cotton. So I think what I'll do, now that I'm getting some stitches in and I'm really liking the colors, I don't think I'll be changing anything. I mean, obviously I still have a lot to go. But so far the colors I've used have really worked. I didn't like change the vibe. All of the colors I chose are just like more vibrant versions of what was charted. So I didn't change, like I said, I didn't change the vibe of the chart at all, just punched it up a little bit. And I think the colors that I chose look really good on this fabric. So maybe sometime this week I will do an Instagram post where I share my floss conversion. I sometimes get worried about sharing floss conversions because I'm like, you know, what if I change my mind halfway through, or what if it doesn't work on somebody else's different fabric choice, or I can't worry about that. So if you would like my color conversion, I will work on sharing that on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me over at Stitchy Sarah Reads. But this is where I'm at so far. Let me bring it in a little closer. I love those long, skinny strawberries. So I've got the border done, except for, you know, of course, filling in the strawberries. And I've been working on the alphabet, but I cannot wait to get to that house. So there's the pattern again. So there's still a lot of stitching to go. But I love it. So that's it. That's what I've got for you today. So, like I said, I'm going to just be stitching away. I don't have any big summer plans. You know, of course, I'll be taking care of my husband after his surgery and going to retreats. And that's about it. So, I guess that's it. Yeah. If you are one of my giveaway winners, make sure you contact me. Give me your address so I can get those giveaways out to you. And I hope that you are having a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to everyone who has served our country and sacrificed for our country. And I hope everybody just has a fantastic rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.